transmitting on this local frequency. I know it's been a while. I wasn't sure what was going on, but I made it. Yeah, it's me, Anderson. I think we made it out of there. The generator is still working, thankfully. I had to get out of there. I hope you'll understand if I don't relay my whereabouts. The last time things didn't work out so good when I did. My neighbor was dead, so I hope nobody gets mad that I took his truck. It looked like he'd been dead for a while. It was like some ripped him all up. So I've been hiding up here for a while. Now I was afraid to use my power before I start using some fuel options to run the generator. And obviously I was afraid of the noise it would make. But I think I'm pretty safe here. So I'm gonna give it a try. I've made sure I can't be seen by the air either. So if somebody come looking for me, you ain't gonna find me. I've heard the helicopters, and I don't think they're looking for me, but I'm pretty sure what they found wasn't pretty, because I heard the troops coming through, a ton of gunfire, which is kind of why I'm doing this broadcast right now. Thankfully, being a hunter, I have some pretty good optics to check out what's going on around me. I saw these soldiers. They were collecting bodies. I was real worried early on that they had killed people. But I'm pretty sure it's those things. What used to be people. But they ain't people no more. I don't know what you call them. Dead folks? Oh yeah, they're dead. I stumbled on one coming up. He wasn't in no shape to put up a fight, so I made sure he wouldn't fight. And nothing ever survived with those injuries. Nobody ever lived with that kind of damage to their body. He was a slimy sucker too. He was tough to hold too, but I got him. And I chopped his head clean off. That was pretty much that. Anyway, they knew how to dispatch those suckers, no problem. And normal folks, they would have yelled and pleaded for mercy. These things didn't do nothing when them soldiers hacked them all up. So, I think it's not something I have to worry about. I had put away the guns for more important situations, and I got these bows for hunting. I got the space to capture some animals too, and I don't know, maybe I'll corral something up here so I can have some sort of farm. Raising food would be easy, so I'd be fine with that. I already started some of it, but I just gotta be real careful with where I'm at, so I don't want to give too much. But anyway, about those military folks, I've seen enough beards to know they were special forces or some such. That's the kind of guys that go in unawares, if you know what I mean. Nobody showed rank or anything like that, and they handle themselves a little bit differently, like they didn't have no rules, if you know what I'm saying. Not a lot of guys, but you'd have thought they was in the hundreds of them on account of how busy they got. They did have what I think was a major or maybe a colonel with them. He had that leafy looking insignia. He was definitely calling the shots though, and I do mean calling the shots down in dirty like most officer types have kind of what kind of that off to the side thing going on, you know. They don't get dirty rolls, but this guy was in it deep. He didn't have no trouble getting messy. They made sure the locals weren't involved, and when one of them SWAT teams showed up, they had them out in minutes, all shaking hands, friendly, like they was bosom buddies or something. That officer, he won't know where to be found. Well, that is until they were gone. Suddenly he was back out running things again. I think they was protecting him. Yeah, maybe that was their job, to make sure that boy was doing whatever job he did, because he was definitely educated as some such. Everybody listened to what he had to say. They got a fairly big tent off in the woods, and it seems they do just about anything to keep people away from it. Got one of them there perimeters running around the camp, all the booby traps and such. I mean, I couldn't help but be nosy. I've been hunting these hills for longer than most of them folks have been alive. And if ain't no deer sniffing me out, those guys weren't going to have no such luck whatsoever finding me. Yeah, at first, they found some farm or something. It was filled with these infected people, bunch of them. But that group, they went through them pretty quickly. I don't know what they did, but next thing you know, this truck is showing up with way more. They corral them into this tent, and next you see bodies coming out. They weren't. They went in moving. They certainly didn't come out that way. Makes you wonder what's going on in there. Think they're doing some sort of research or some sort of thing to figure out what this is all about. Makes you wonder. Definitely didn't look like they knew what was going on. They definitely was trying to figure it out. I think that's what that there officer was on about. You get moments where you get real mad, upset, start yelling at things, come outside, throw things on the ground, and then you go right back in, do his thing until he didn't have anybody left to do his thing on. Then he'd come out, be real direct with some orders, and when he opened his mouth, people jumped. We ain't talking no little guys either. These are big boys. They come out here, I know for a fact, they clean this hill off no problem if it set their mind to it. But thankfully, right now they got a job and they ain't gonna worry about little old me up here checking them out. Does make me wonder though. Regardless though, I let them be. What worried me really was how many they had with them. Is it really that bad out there? It had gotten real quiet for a while, and I thought things had kind of blown over. Some of them military guys coming through, and I saw in that area it wasn't coming out until, I wasn't coming out at least, until they were all gone. But then it got real busy recently. I mean, real busy. Thankfully, I hadn't seen anything in the woods, but I'm not sure how much longer that'll even be. With me being real quiet like too. I don't even know if using this thing is a smart idea. Yeah, sure, radios are nice to have, and you just never know who's listening. But I can't be alone forever. There is just no way. This is not a way to live. And there's no other way of getting any information out. So here I am. And if I don't do this, nothing's going to help me. So I need to know where to go to get information. So that's why I'm here, to relay some of it out there. And if I don't get no word back, well, I'm gonna have to go out and find a radio from somewhere. I'm sure one of those houses out there that don't have nobody in them now, gotta be something like a radio or something in them. Maybe one of them crank options, you know. It'd be good to hear some news, even if it ain't even worth hearing. Heck, it's better than nothing. I'll bet them fancy newsboys don't know what's going out here in the woods. And I don't have any plans to tell them either. Let's just make this our little secret. But here on this frequency, I do want you guys to know about it. And that'll be all. So if you're hearing this and you gotta get that information out to somebody that's listening, we gotta figure this out before it's too late. And with things going the way they are, I don't know how much time we have left. This is Anderson, signing off.